For the past 21 years, I've been a gymnast. My mother began teaching me when I was barely old enough to walk. I quickly moved into the world of competition and I loved it. For 17 of those 21 years, I competed in club gymnastics, and for the past 4 years, I've been a member of the University of Utah gymnastics team. While on the U of U's team, I was able to travel to many different places, meet new people, create some of my most favorite memories, and accomplish my lifelong dreams, both individually and as a team. It's important to mention the differences between club gymnastics and college gymnastics. They are, in many ways, as different as night and day. For example, in college gymnastics, it's a lot less forgiving than club. You might not have a great practice on the college level and could not be competing that following weekend, so the pressure is significantly greater. These differences require change, and these changes are not gradual. They come all at once. I was fortunate enough my last 3 years at the U to compete in all 4 events, but I could have been taken out or put back in at any moment, just depending on what the coaches thought was best for the team. So you must be ready not only physically, but mentally to deliver perfection. Fortunately, early on in these competitive years, I developed the habit of praying. I would pray to perform to the best of my ability, to avoid serious injury, and to remember and uphold the values I was taught at home. I want to say that I always had the support of my amazing husband and family, but I needed the power and the peace that came from connecting with God, and I relied heavily on that connection. I used it every day, from the moment I started warm-ups until I opened the door to leave. I found that the more I relied on that habit of connecting with God, I was able to truly see the benefit it had on every aspect of my life. Competing in college gymnastics is such a thrill, especially at the University of Utah's Huntsman Center that draws in 15,000 plus fans to every home meet. Competing in front of that many fans can be scary and can carry a lot of pressure. During these college competitions, many people would notice that I talked a lot to myself. And commentators would always say that they could see me giving myself mental cues. But I was actually praying. It became so much a part of my routine that my prayers became my spiritual cues that I would mix in with my normal mental cues along with those that my coaches had given me. Having this connection grounded me. It made me realize that what I was learning was bigger than just gymnastics. The day would come when I would need this perspective. In May of this year, my team qualified to the NCAA National Championships. To reach the national championships, we had to first compete in a regional competition at LSU and be in the top 2 of every team competing at that regionals. The second day of competition, I had one of the best meets of my life. I just felt on, so going into nationals, I was feeling very confident. When the first meet day came, I was ready. Being a senior, I was determined not to have this be my last day of gymnastics ever. If we were not in the top 2 of every team of that session, we would not be moving on. So I was going to do everything in my power to make sure we made it to the next day of competition. We started on floor, and I had a great routine. I did one of the best vaults of my life. My bar routine was about as good as I could do it. Then we went to beam, our last event for the day. We knew we had to have one of the best rotations we had had all season. At that moment, the longest I had ever been away from gymnastics was 5 days in a row. So I was internally freaking out a little bit. I did not want this to be my last gymnastics routine. And that thought dominated my thinking. I don't quite remember what happened, but I fell. I fell in front of thousands of people. I fell competing for the national championship. I fell on a skill I've been performing since I was in 7th grade. And yet, here I was. That fall would become the end of my last ever gymnastics routine. I would never compete again. To say I was devastated does not even come close. I had trained for 21 years for my ending to be a failure. After my routine, I saluted, gave my teammates high fives, and went behind a curtain and began to sob. One of my teammates came with me to try and comfort me. I remember just sitting there feeling so devastated. I could not get it through my head that this is how my gymnastics career was ending. I started to pray because of the habit I had developed over the years. And I had a sudden moment of clarity right there that night in that arena. It was like I had a glimpse into the future. I could see myself helping a young gymnast through a similar situation and helping my future daughter in her own life through the lessons I had learned. And that great lesson is that it's not our low moments that define us, but how we improve from all the moments we experience, both high and low. I could have remained devastated and ended my gymnastics career on a bitter note, but I was helped through the habit of prayer to decide to learn from it and to make it a positive. I choose to focus on not what happened, but on what can happen. So what is my message? As a 9-time All-American with 2 perfect 10s, voted the University of Utah's Female Athlete of the Year and the 2018 Pac-12 Vault Champion, it is that all those honors and all those accomplishments have not taught me as much as falling and turning to God has. Thank you.